Welcome back to the Candy Colored Studio. I'm artist Katrina Berg. This is episode 166, and I have my beautiful friend Nicole Woodbury here. And let me tell you, this is such a treat. Nicole is going to be sharing more about the latest Certain Women exhibit. So, welcome, Nicole. So happy to
Thanks for
have
having
you.
me. I love you, Katrina.
Oh,
It's
well,
so
I
fun.
love you.
Good to see you.
Yeah. And I have to tell you, listeners, if you didn't catch Nicole's episode from a couple years ago, it's episode 39. And it's amazing because it talks about her artist journey. It talks about her family. It talks about her methods and style and all the great stuff that you want to hear. You need to go listen to episode 39. And then today, we're going to talk a little bit more about the latest with Nicole. And of course, we're going to talk about the Heavenly Mother show. So, or Heavenly Mother themed show at the Certain Women exhibit. So basically, Nicole, why don't you give us like an update about the show, where we're at right now? Because we're down to what, the last two and a half weeks of the show?
Yep. So it's up for 2 more weeks. Yeah. And it's been doing really well. It's been seen by thousands of people. Well, over 1,000. I don't know about thousands, but hundreds of
In
people
person, but that
in
doesn't
person.
count all the people that have been watching online.
That's true. There's been a lot of involvement. It's been getting a lot of attention. That we were interviewed by Peggy Fletcher Stack with the Salt Lake Tribune, and she published an article on us, and it's really good. I was nervous. I was nervous about interviews like that, because you don't know if like what you say is going to be taken the wrong way, and I'm just a little artist. And so to be interviewed so much is kind of nerve wracking.
Totally.
Like, okay. I became an artist because I really enjoy public speaking.
I know,
No.
right? They don't tell you you're going to have to do all these things.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just new skills or sort of old skills to kind of resurrect. But yeah, it's been really wonderful to be involved this year. Just to connect with the artists. Everyone was so excited about the theme, and we were just thrilled to just bring more light to this knowledge about our Heavenly Mother. And everyone has been so excited about it. And we haven't gotten any backlash for this. It has been just joy. It has just been celebrate this. Let's talk about the joy of this doctrine that we cherish as members of the church. And it's been wonderful. And so, yeah, we had an interview with Carol Makita, and she did a feature on us. I'm sure you advertised about that and have talked about that already, but it was really good. And she actually interviewed Rose and Halani separately, and like they were going to have their own feature. And then she included the Certain Women with their feature.
Oh, that's interesting because I
Yeah.
watched it and then it was amazing. I loved it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's so cool that they went and interviewed those ladies and included them in that. But that was supposed to be separate, huh?
Kind of. I think so.
That
Because I
is
had
so
seen
funny.
that Rose had been interviewed like a few weeks before that, and then Carol didn't even know really about our show this year because we
Oh,
usually send out press releases, but we just didn't get time this year. We've
yeah.
all kind of been really busy. And
Yeah.
so yeah, it's been a pretty much a miracle that we even got the show on, honestly. There are
Yeah.
just so many things that just were just little
Yeah.
digs, and I know so this is how I know the difference between whether or not um Satan is trying to stop us, or if the Lord's trying to tell us not to do something,
Yeah. Yeah.
and the way I know is because we have felt such peace moving forward, and then nothing's really stopped us from doing it, like full out really stopped us, but we've had just like these little jabs throughout that are just really annoying.
Yes.
Just little
Yes.
things that have just kind of not that weren't going to ever topple the show, but we're just really
Just
mean
cause problems,
little
put some
things.
stumbling blocks in there to keep us
Absolutely. Yeah.
remembering why we're doing it and to also just have so much gratitude. It is,
There's
it's
been incalculable opposition
Yeah.
to this for the artists too, that they've
Yeah.
experienced, that they were making their, making their pieces, and some weren't able to even be in the show because they couldn't get it finished. But so many were just like, I really want to be in the show. Give me another week,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So we were able to let people do that this year, but I don't know that we'll be able to in future years even, but
Yeah.
it's been really good though. To
That's
see that,
amazing.
and to kind of see the hand of the Lord in this show and see how, wonderful it's been for women and their self-esteem too. I mean, I'm very
Yeah.
passionate about this theme as well, so.
Oh, that's so great. Yeah, I will I'll include the Tribune article and Carol's segment in the show
Yeah,
notes. So if you
yeah.
guys haven't seen it yet, you can do that. But then I'll just also link to the Certain Women website because all their media information is on there. So like when Dr.
Mhm.
Valerie Hudson came, her interview, you can watch it for sure on Instagram, but it's probably in your media page too, right?
Yeah, we're trying to get our links up. We haven't
Everything.
updated it.
Yeah,
It's a lot
everything
of
will be
work,
there.
we do all this for free. And so we're just like, it's like our passion project, and so we're trying to get our website a little more updated, but it's, taking time. I've
That's
been spending
okay.
a lot of work doing a catalog of the show, making a book about our show. And that's kind of taken the majority of my time. So I'm not updating the website as much,
It's
but,
okay. It's
um,
okay.
but yeah, so we will eventually have videos. We have them on YouTube. We have MacArthur's event on YouTube,
Oh, good.
and yeah.
And obviously they're on Instagram too. So Instagram, YouTube, and then do you want to talk more about the catalog?
Yeah, sure. I can talk about the catalog. So we wanted to have one last year for the show we did or not last year, 2 years ago for the show we did last time. And I got pregnant. And so I was not going to finish that. I actually
That's
got like
okay.
99% of it done. So we
Oh,
may
are you
publish it
serious?
like maybe later we'll publish that one.
Yeah, I
And
don't see why
so
not.
yeah, I mean, it was a beautiful show and we really wanted to record that. It was just women's statements of what their purpose was. So it was a beautiful show in 2019, right before the disaster,
It's
and
true.
yeah, so then I got pregnant and then had a baby this last year, and moved and had my first sort of solo show and had just a lot going on, and then the Certain
Yeah.
Women show, so we're excited to have a little break, kind
Yes.
of rest.
Yes, no, that'll be good. And I think what's beautiful about what you're doing with the website is that for those of you that haven't been on the website recently, you can access the show that Nicole's talking about. All the statements of purpose pieces are on there. And that's what's great is you can continue to build the website and share those pieces. And yeah, I don't know if it'll happen, but if you ever have the desire to finish that catalog, you could just release it later and maybe people will want to collect all the catalogs eventually. I
Yeah.
know I would like to do that. So
Yeah, and they're
I think
beautiful works. And yeah, so we have this catalog, and I just sent it to the printer, so it should be available soon.
cool.
And you should be able to order it on Amazon. And so we'll send out
Nice.
a link. If people are subscribed to our mailing list, we will be able to let them know when the catalog is available for purchase. And it has all the statements, all the artwork, and all the statements.
Cool.
And we worked really hard to get all of them. So we
Yeah.
have everybody's stuff in there. And then at the end, it has all the awards listed that were in the show. And then it also has MacArthur's transcript of her entire event. And it
Wow.
also has Valerie Hudson's transcript of her event. And we flew Valerie out. We raised money to fly her out. And it was incredible to see the response that we got. Everyone was so excited to have her out. And it was worth it. Her
Aw.
event was just spectacular. And Valerie even said it was one of her top 5 moments of her life,
Are you
to come out
serious?
and see the art and participate in it. And her whole speech was just so inspiring. And she talked about the male gaze
Mhm.
and sort of, I like to sort of translate it as saying, the male perspective has sort of dominated history, and that in order to balance it out, we really need the female gaze. And then you look around and you see all the artwork made by women, and she's like, this is the female gaze, you know, and it was so powerful to participate in that and to really realize that we're participating in changing the world, you know. And it's really cool.
It's amazing. If you haven't got to listen to Valerie's event, you need to. And at the very end too, when she does the interactive song, it was so special.
It was cool.
Even was there a drone? What was happening? Was there a drone that came in at one point? What was that noise?
It was traffic outside.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was like a motorcycle engine.
Oh, and it just wafted up into the upstairs.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was like, wow, how did that happen? Okay.
It was crazy.
It was just kind of funny because it all went with the whole thing. You know, she just goes with the flow. She's such a beautiful person that it kind of added to the whole.
Yeah, it was amazing.
That's awesome. Oh, that's so cool. Okay. So just to remind everyone, the show is available till November 13th if you want to see it in person, but of course you'll be able to see all the work and everything forever on the website. So make sure that you go and participate.
We don't have the statements on the website. That's a lot to put up.
Yeah, that's a lot. So you need the catalog.
We'll maybe get some time to do it, or maybe someone wants to volunteer to do that. But
yeah,
we're like
totally
a little overwhelmed with that, but it will be all in the catalog for sure.
Cool.
So, and did you want me to give you a sneak peek of the catalog now?
Yes, let's see a sneak peek.
Okay, let's see if I can put
and she's gonna share it. So for those of you listening, just to remind you, we are recording this and we're gonna share it on YouTube. So you can actually, all the things that we visually share today, you can watch on YouTube, and then I will share the images in the show notes on my website as well. So you can see those there too. Is it working or no?
It says host disabled participant screen sharing.
Okay, hold on. Advanced sharing ops. Okay, yeah, there we go. Now it should work. Let's try again.
Okay, here it is. See what you can see here. Okay, so this is the introduction. It has the list of artists. And then Micah Christensen wrote a little introduction for us, and then we have our theme.
Nice.
And then this is a table of contents. There it has everything.
Wow.
I divided it up the way the show is actually divided. So I guess I can talk about that here.
Yeah, let's do that together. Yeah, go ahead.
The art shows, as we were noticing themes as we were setting it up. And we noticed that Heavenly Mother was being portrayed as a woman in like a portrait form. Mm-hmm. And so we have her as a woman portrayed and like as an individual. And then the next thing that we decided to put is Heavenly Mother portrayed as a creator. And it was really powerful room, and we were calling it our creation room. And we were putting all of the art that was about her creating in that room. And then the next one was the mother room. So we were calling it, and it was Heavenly Mother as a mother to us. And there were pieces about Heavenly Mother reaching out through other mothers, and Heavenly Mother saying goodbye to us as spirits. And that was sort of the theme in that room, and just portraying her as we are like Heavenly Mother. And then the next one was Heavenly Mother portrayed as a partner. Mm. And so that was portrayals of her with Heavenly Father, which I think are really powerful. And then the last one is really special. It's basically our theme, twisted to hold like that double entendre of reflection. And so we're reflecting on her and what she means to us, but also we as women are reflections of her, and she is our divine potential. And so this room was about that, about us as women being reflections of her in our actions and and as mothers and as women.
So beautiful. Oh, this is so exciting.
So it's cool. And then there's the events in here as well. And Heather Belknap and Sarah Coyne did an event as well. And there's a summary of that one. We don't have the transcript, but there's a summary of that one. And can you see over here on the left? It's really small. I don't want to,
Yeah.
MacArthur's transcript is so long, but it was so worth it. And then, yeah, we just have, these are the portrayals of the, this is the sneak peek, and they're all full spreads. Yeah, I don't know. I don't
Oh,
show
it's
you the whole thing,
beautiful.
but
It's
it's all done.
beautiful.
So yeah, and
Oh,
this piece will actually be our cover.
oh, cool. Okay,
So that's
Ginger. This is your
excited.
piece, Ginger. Oh
Mhm.
my gosh, that's amazing.
So Heavenly
Gorgeous.
Mother, a common symbol, as you know, because your piece is the tree of life, but a common symbol for Heavenly Mother is the tree of life. So
Awesome. That is so great.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh, I'm so
and
excited to get mine. That
it's
is so
exciting.
special.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
this is
beautiful,
great.
beautiful show. So
I'm going to keep mine
yeah,
with my Heavenly Mother books from Bethany and MacArthur. I'll just keep them together here in
yeah,
the
just keep it all.
studio.
Yeah, exactly.
That'll be so
Perfect.
great. Oh, I'm so excited. Well, thank you for telling us about the room themes. And if you
Yeah.
haven't gone in person yet, or you've already gone and you want to go back, definitely you can kind of think about those as you're going through. When Nicole told me about that, I totally kind of revisited in my mind, and I could see all the themes so clearly. And it was so beautiful, so beautiful.
Yeah, it was really cool to see that happen and see that that was happening, the different
Mhm.
things of her portrayal. And it's cool.
Yeah, that's really neat. Well, awesome. Okay, so let's talk, let's get a little update about your work and then we'll go back into the show. Is that okay?
Sure.
I'd
Yeah,
love
sure.
to, yeah, tell us about
So,
like your solo show that you had this year. I mean, you've been doing just whatever you want to share about your new series and direction. You've been
uh,
very busy these last couple of years.
oh my
So
word. Oh my word.
yeah, so Nicole, she just moved right before a certain women. Like it is so much work to put on this show, but then she just moved and then and then just was it a week ago you guys had your open house?
Oh yeah, we had a studio open house
Studio
of the
open
art
house, like
studio and
a kind of a
everything.
community. Oh, it was, yeah, so
Yeah.
much. So, yeah. So Nicole has
Crazy.
been very busy, but she's pulling up right now. She's pulling up pieces to show us what she's been working on lately. And then we'll just try to describe the pieces as best we can for those of you listening. But I would totally recommend that you go and check this out on the YouTube version so that you can see everything that she's sharing, which is really awesome.
I can't find the piece that I did for the show.
Oh
But
no.
I'll just show you what I've been working on recently.
Okay. Yeah, show us what you've been working. Maybe I'll pull it up on the website
Okay.
on the side while you're doing
I
that.
thought I put it in there. I thought I just put it in there.
No
Anyway,
worries.
it's
No
all good.
worries. You do that and
So,
I'll find it.
I'll just show you. I'll pull this up. So these are, I wonder if I could do all of them. Let's do that. There we go. Okay. So, these are my thread paintings. So this is what I did for the solo, it was a group show. It was two other artists, and we were all in a show together, and I had to make 10 pieces for it. And it was right after I had a baby that I was making these pieces. And so yeah, so they are sort of, the idea behind them is that the thread is referencing gray matter or white matter in your brain. And so the idea is that they are thoughts. And so they are made of string, which is sort of like hairs that are kind of coming from your brain, like a pensieve in Harry Potter to be.
Totally.
you know,
Oh, I
you
love
know?
it. I love it.
And so anyway, this one is it's sort of like the Rorschach ink blot
Mhm.
things. So the quote that I referenced for this whole project was tell me what you see or tell me what you pay attention to, and
Uh-huh.
I will tell you who you are. And
Ooh.
so in each of these, it's really sort of a self-reflection to see what is it you think of when you see this, and allow the viewer to have an experience with it. I mean, you kind of have this with all art, but I really wanted to hone in on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one I called, and I wanted to be really subtle with the names because I didn't want to influence people too much. But this one's called Ephemerality. And there's kind of just like mechanical references here. And yeah.
Okay,
What do you
so
see, Katrina?
I can't see it.
You can't see it? Am I sharing
double
it now?
double click on. I wonder.
It says you are screen sharing.
Yeah, you're sharing, but what I'm looking at is your file folder.
Oh,
So
shoot.
I wonder if.
Okay, stop share. Let's try this.
So open it up big and then share to it. Try. Does that make sense? Like click on the image and then click. Oh, see, there we go. There it is.
Oh, there we go.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
Sorry.
Yes.
All right.
No,
There it
I'm
is.
glad. I was like, any second now, she's going to click on it.
I'm so
It's
sorry.
all good. No, this
There
is
it
a beautiful piece, and I love the colors. I love the colors in the whole series, but this is really beautiful. I'm sure this is one of MacArthur's favorites because she happens to be a big fan of coral. She loves coral and peach, and
exactly. Yeah. So that's this one, and this one is called Majesty.
Yes.
And I kind of also played with the idea of calling it Exaltation. And,
oh yeah.
Different references there.
I love the graphics in that one and the geometry. It's beautiful.
Thanks.
Yeah.
My brother was like, it's like a Superman thing.
It is like a Superman. Yeah, totally.
Like, okay, that's what you see,
That's awesome.
That's funny. Let me do another one. Here we go.
Oh yeah, this one's great.
Okay, this one's called Conception. Mm-hmm. And this one's called Concordance, sort of like opposites unifying. This one's called Coronation.
Oh, I like this one too. This one's got a lot of movement. So just to describe it for people that are listening, you've got it. I feel like there's a lot of simple symbols in the first few that you shared, but then this one has a lot more. Does that make sense? There's a lot more going on in this piece to show the movement and that, I don't know, you call the exaltation.
This one's called Coronation. So
Coronation.
You don't get to see it, but this part right here in the middle or at the bottom, in the middle of the thread is raised. It's raised. So I had the thread around a mold and it kind of raised to the mold. And so it creates sort of this crown, like if you were look at a crown on the ground. So that's why it's called Coronation, the crown. But it's also was commissioned by, or not commissioned, it was, I won a grant to create it from the LDS Center for Art.
Yeah.
And it was sort of because of my sort of, this imagery has sort of a feel of viruses.
Yes.
So they wanted me to make one about the coronavirus. And so I was like, well, there's a crown. Yeah. But then I wanted to create this barrier where the thread couldn't touch. And it's sort of this place of non-connection. Ooh. And how we were feeling when we were socially distant. Mm-hmm. And then this is sort of, I didn't realize this when I made this part, but I was talking to my brother who's studying to be a doctor. And he was like, Nicole, they use charts like this to create vaccinations.
Whoa.
And I was like, what? And so, and then this pattern up here is actually from the polygon shape of what the coronavirus is made of.
Wow.
Polygons is a pentagram and a hexagon. And so coronaviruses are made of that shape. And so it references kind of that and coming out of it and being immersed in it.
I love that you're so good at including science and just.
I love science.
I know, right? It's so great. Yeah.
It's great.
So much depth.
So, okay. And then there's this one. This one's called Eden.
Cool.
Yeah, just garden.
Okay. So yeah, so this one has a, predominantly green color. Kind of, it definitely brings you to the garden.
Yeah. Kind of with this circle was thinking.
Yeah, the circle.
This balance between Adam and Eve.
Yeah,
sort of
I love
circular yin yang kind of thing, but there's like a diamond in the middle, which is sort of a portal into mortality, and was what I was thinking.
That's beautiful, Nicole. I love it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And then, there's that one. This is the one in the show. So this one is to do with Heavenly Mother. It's sort of, they're nesting inside each other. And so that can mean two things, either a mother and child, or even Heavenly Father and Heavenly Mother being together and being one.
Yeah.
And then I debated on different names. This one's called Marrow in the Bones. But in the poem that I included with the piece, it also talks about bone of my bones, flesh of my flesh, referencing that. And I wanted to reference sort of the temple a little bit. That's why I called it Marrow in the Bones. And reference the other things that come with that in phrases in the temple. And the tree of life is a common symbol, as we talked about, for Heavenly Mother. And I saw that fractal representation, like this, the branching in trees, as similar to the branching in our bone marrow.
Yes.
And so I was kind of thinking about bone marrow and how that's where our lifeblood comes from, and can also be symbolic of a tree of life. And women specifically are more prone to osteoporosis because they when they breastfeed, but also when they have a baby and are holding a baby, they take nutrients and blood and everything from their bones. Everything comes from their very bones, that women are giving this. And if that example is prevalent throughout mortality, we believe that mortality is a type of what the spiritual represents, as representing of what the spiritual is. And surely our Heavenly Mother gives just as much of herself to her children.
Yeah.
And sort of thinking about what that means, and that sacrifice, and her life giving to us, that she is the marrow, and she gives us that life. So
that's amazing, Nicole. So just for those of you that are listening, the pieces that Nicole was sharing before, even though they are very textured and multi-medium, they are considered 2D. And this piece that Nicole did for the Certain Women show that she's describing is a 3D sculpture, ceramic. Is it porcelain, Nicole?
Yeah, it's porcelain.
It's porcelain. And then so she's got a carving, and then also she's got the gold leafing on parts of it.
Yeah. Sort of from the back to make it look kind of like it's glowing with light, is what I was thinking.
Oh, that's amazing. It's so great to hear, just for you to share all those symbols. Yeah, that's amazing. I don't think, did we have any of the other women talk about the idea of the bones and marrow? And I mean, obviously we've got a lot of trees, we've got a lot of portraits. Did anyone do anything somewhat similar to you? I don't remember seeing anything like I didn't think so.
Not
and
really.
I'm so glad, because I'm like, this is what we need. And I think once there were some depictions of her as the tree of life, it started to grow. So I'm curious to see how this will impact our community, these ideas that you've shared.
Yeah, the interesting thing about bone marrow too is that it's made of this constant rivalry, these opposites working together. So it's made of cells that are building and then cells that are destroying all at the same time. Wow. And that's what creates the matrix. That's what creates the space in there, which allows us to walk, because otherwise our bones would be too heavy. Wow. And we wouldn't be able to do things, And so there's a lot that goes into the bone marrow concept as well. I have other pieces that are about bone marrow, and it's reference to spirituality, but it's sort of like mortality as well, and like the purpose of it, and having opposition, and having two sides, like male and female,
So. Awesome. It's awesome. I love this piece. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. I love that.
Okay. I have one more. This one's called Nova. And I think that's all of them.
That's
Oh no, I have
amazing.
more.
Oh,
This
okay.
one, sorry, this one's called Resurrection. This
Mhm.
one is at the Springville Museum of Art right now
Oh yeah.
in their
Yeah.
show.
Awesome.
And this one's sort of connotations of a fountain. It kind of looks like a bubble bath.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I love
and it
it.
has this like barrier in the middle that's very distinct, that's sort of almost impenetrable, but yet you can still, with the gold in the background, it's sort of the idea of being rejuvenated and resurrection. And
Yeah.
then this one, I was thinking of experiences, and this one's called Wisdom.
Nice.
And yeah, let's see. And then,
And then
this
these are more of
one,
the bone marrow, right?
this is the other bone marrow one I was talking about.
Cool.
Yeah. And this one's called Within the Marrow of Our Bones.
Uh-huh.
And it's sort of about how we all have within the marrow of our bones is that rivalry that I was talking about, but also it's something we are equal with. We
Yeah.
all have that.
That's
And we all
so I'm oh, keep going.
no, we all partake of that lifeblood and bone marrow and need it and have it.
Yeah. I do feel like this piece is more about the community, and the other one was obviously more about that duality and partnership, but also specifically about her. But it seems like, okay, is it just because we're getting close up? I mean, you've got more folds, the movement is different. And so it's a really, I mean, you can see how the pieces are in the same series, but I love that this one it just has more folds, more intricacies, more
Yeah, it's photographed better
connections.
too. But
I thought you did a good job on the other one, but yeah, I
well,
think it
this
helps
one,
if you've seen it in person. So your eyes already kind of make up for the pieces that it can't see. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. And I was able to have like a white background on this one. But
Mhm.
there's also gold in here that is
Golden.
referencing because there's cracks that happen in
Mm,
bone marrow in like your bones all the time. Like walking, jumping, it causes cracks that are then healed, and that's where how your bones get strengthened is
cool.
by having opposition. You get stronger, right? And so anyway, the gold is used. I use the kintsugi method
Yeah.
to do that, which is how you prepare broken pottery in Japan. Kintsugi is a Japanese word, and it in our culture it symbolizes the atonement.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah, it's beautiful. Did you do those tiny pieces in your certain women piece too? And I just didn't see them.
no, this one
This
the
one
certain
has,
women didn't have it. This one did.
okay. Okay.
So.
You know how sometimes you're like, did I miss that? Um, yeah, no, I
Yeah.
love that because again, they do symbolize different things, but it's in the same series. It's beautiful. I
Mhm.
love that.
Okay, I think that's it. That's it.
Oh, those are amazing, Nicole. Thank you for sharing all of those things that you've been up to. And yeah, I'm just always I love seeing your work because there's always so much depth to it and so much learning. And I love that.
Thanks. Oh, I don't
Yeah.
think, did I show this one?
Oh, no, no. Let's talk about that one. We didn't talk about
This
that one.
one,
So
it didn't come up on my portfolio here.
yeah,
I don't know why.
I don't think we saw that one. So what's this
Yeah.
one called?
This one's called Reverberance.
Mm,
And I sort of with this one thought about like a ripple effect, and things what you put out there comes back to you.
yes.
That's the idea behind that one.
It's stunning. I love that one.
Thanks. Yeah.
So good. Well, awesome. Well, make sure that you, if you're not already, make sure that you're following Nicole on Instagram, check out her website, get on all of her things so that you can keep it updated with her new series. So that's
Thanks,
great.
Katrina.
Yeah. Okay. So let's jump back. I mean, we got to talk about your piece in the show. Let's share. Nicole has picked out some pieces in the Certain Women show that she specifically wants to share with you and tell you about some of the stories that she knows about them. So we'll let you do
Okay,
that.
let me pull those up. Okay, kind of is doing them in groups.
That's okay.
We'll do that. Okay, sorry.
No,
I'll
no,
have
you're
to
fine. You're
cut
fine.
this out later.
It's just fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically she's going to pick some more pieces. And if you haven't listened to our other episodes in this series, Laura Erickson talks about several pieces and Tracy Holmes talks about several pieces. So you can kind of get all of our perspectives of some of the pieces that really impacted us personally as we went to the show.
Okay. I'm sorry, Katrina. It's not pulling it up for some reason.
Yeah, that's okay. Do you want me, should we share from, I mean, we could do Whitney Johnson's. I've got that one up still.
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's do that one. So let's share. Okay. Can you see that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, okay, this is Whitney Johnson and her piece. She is, I guess I wanted to talk about her as an artist. I went to school with her.
Oh, nice.
And she studied under Wolf Barsh.
Mm-hmm.
He was her mentor. And we went to Italy together. Oh. And so we were kind of buds. And then I saw her, I didn't know she was making work still. And I saw her piece at the International Church Art Show. And I was so excited. And I tried to look up her website and she doesn't have one. And you can't find her anywhere.
So this is extremely special, you guys.
Yeah, it is. You can't find her stuff anywhere. And I was like, you have to get a website. What the heck? You need to be famous, you know?
Yes.
And so when we were asking for portfolios, I, reached out to her and I was like, I think you should, try and make a piece for us. Maybe, but I can't show my other organizers your work. You gotta, please apply. And she did. She showed us her portfolio and this is what she created for our show. And it's really beautiful. It's do you have the name?
Oh gosh. Let me see if it shows on. Okay, if I click on. Okay, sorry gury
Oh no.
I feel like I know. We'd have to go.
It's sort of like
here it is.
Daughters or something.
Oh, I don't know if it said it on here. I apologize.
Oh, that's okay. I think I could pull it up, but I can't.
Actually, if we go into the Certain Women website, did it have the titles? Do you remember?
It should.
If not, has Laura posted it on the Instagram?
I don't know.
I can't remember if she's posted this piece. That's okay. Let me pull up one of the other pieces that you want to talk about while you check.
I should have them all memorized.
Oh, that's okay. What about your catalog? Your catalog had the names of all of them.
Yeah, I'll get it.
Okay.
Let's see.
Well, here, we'll just keep looking at her piece. I'm going to describe it while Nicole's looking for the name. So Wolf Barsh is known for his geometry and really heavily relying on symbols, which I love that. Specifically like sacred geometry. We've almost got like a window in the upper, I don't know, maybe sixth of the piece. And it's almost like a window into a landscape. And then part of that landscape above, like over the top of it, there's a couple circles that are intersecting. And then also some more geometry connecting it all. And then beyond the window that you're seeing, there's an arch. So this piece is a portrait, or is it portrait or square? I'm not sure.
Maybe it's square. Yeah.
It's a square. It's hard to tell from my screen. Okay. So it's really a square. So the top, we've got an arch and then tons of geometry at the bottom, circles and arches. Is there a specific name for that geometric shape? It looks like a flower or a star. I'm sure there's a very geometric name for it.
Oh my goodness, there is. It's the seed of life though.
That's what the name
geometry. Is? Yeah.
Oh,
it's the seed of life.
Okay.
Is the sacred geometry. And Carolyn Hippin's piece.
Oh, she uses the same one.
Yeah.
So we should talk about hers next. But yeah, just to give you an idea. So she has very, I don't know, I hate to say almost like a plein air study in the middle of it and those types of colors, and then pastels and silvers and golds on the rest of the piece. And it just really, it's stunning. It's a stunning combination. I just think it's very delicate and intricate and beautiful and just shows the beauty of life and just obviously divinity. But yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. So I'm able to pull this up kind of in my
Okay.
Finder. So I'll
Yeah.
share.
Let's see if it'll let you share it. That would be great. Let's see. Maybe I have to stop. Okay. I
Okay.
stopped and then maybe it'll let you do it.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Perfect.
So let's see. All right. You want to do Carolyn's piece?
Sure.
So there's Carolyn Smart Hippin, and she does paper cutting work. And I think one of the beautiful things with this piece, if I can zoom in, is these threads. Oh, I don't think you can see that part. Okay, well, anyway, I
No,
can't
keep
zoom in,
talking. I'm going to try to pull up her Instagram while you're talking because I feel like she had some process pictures that will kind of describe what you're talking about.
it doesn't show very well in a photo, this piece, but it's so beautiful, lovely. Like there's threads that she's sewn in here, and it's all about, it's called She Is in the Meeting Places. And she was actually telling me all about this piece and her process and everything. And it was a beautiful story about how she was going through some things with her own daughter and how she felt inspiration from Heavenly Mother on how to help her own daughter. And just it was a really touching story. And there's like some 3D elements that pop out, and there's like thread that's crisscrossing all over the place. And it's just really, it's a beautiful piece.
It's beautiful. Okay. So I've got her Instagram up. Do you care if we
Yep,
show the pictures? So if
Yeah.
you stop, and then I'm going to share that really quick. Okay. So this is right from her Instagram, and her Instagram is the lost, isn't it? Like the lost button. There it is.
Mhm.
I'll make sure and link to everybody's, but
They're
in
wonderful.
in these like, I don't know, process pictures that she shared, you can see the thread, you can see the, I don't know, oh, here, she's even doing a video. Like we're watching a video right now.
And this piece is like, she should sell it for more, I think.
Oh gosh. I mean, it took her so much time. I know she was stressed if it was even going to be done in time. She was one of those that was kind of worried that it wasn't going to be done. Huh?
We all were, I think.
I think we all were.
I mean, making a new piece is a lot.
And there's the thread. So this picture shows the thread, and it shows, I mean, just obviously the whole process is just amazing. Oh wait, that was something else. But yeah, so that's her piece. And then I'll stop sharing so you can share the next one you want to share.
Great. Okay, so let's do, oh gosh, they're all so beautiful. Okay, I'll start up here. So this one's kind of cool because so this artist actually is the wife of a guy who went to law school with my husband.
Oh, nice. I love that connection.
Yeah, so I know her, but I mean, I love her work, and she's very prolific, and she's, you know, she's getting a lot of renown now. Her name's Anna Lee Wood. And the image is of a little girl riding a bicycle, and in the background are her grandmother angels. And, you know, one of our beliefs is that our ancestors, everything's all about family in heaven, and that our angels in our lives are actually our ancestors. And so it was really cool. The person that ended up buying this piece, she saw these pictures of these women that were the angels, and she recognized them. And she was like, those are my ancestors. And so she bought the piece, and she called up the artist and said, are we related? She didn't even know her. And they made that connection that they were related. Are you
serious? They really are related. It wasn't
and
just
distantly. Yeah.
That is so funny, because I have a friend that lives here in town, and she bought one of Annalee's pieces because it did look like one of her ancestors. And I think it was just, they looked similar, but that is amazing.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
They have the same ancestors. Oh, that's so special.
Isn't that beautiful? So she ended up buying that piece, which I thought was really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
This one is incredible. This is Britney Scott, and she usually does landscape. But I'm not going to tell the story right, and I'm going to murder her story, but
sorry, Brittany, we're just going to do our best.
Sorry, Brittany. I'm going to try and remember all the details, but someone had this idea for a painting and was inspired about the different ways that mothers connect and are like Heavenly Mother, and the ways that Heavenly Mother is trying to reach out to her children. And so and then the lady had this idea for a painting and then had a name come to her mind.
Ooh.
And the name was Britney Scott. Didn't even know her.
Whoa.
And she looked up the name, contacted her, didn't even know if she was LDS or not, and contacted her and said, hey, I think you should make this piece. And then Brittany, like the idea, like the vision for the piece just came to her. And
That's
so it was just like this
amazing.
really special painting that I think is so incredible. And as you go through, you have Heavenly Mother hugging a child that she's saying goodbye to. And then she's looking at a sister who is in tears, and someone and a grandmother is trying to reach out to her.
Yeah.
And then you have an older mother hugging a younger mother who is looking at the viewer.
Uh-huh.
And then you have a brand new mother at the bottom corner, and then you have a mom with younger children that you can tell she's very stressed out, just sort of clinging to her other mother, and sort of this unification of mothers. And her name of the piece is Tethered to Her Love, and sort of how everything's connected to her. And it's this beautiful purple colors and this space background. And it goes from like the stars in the purple and the stars darkening and then lightening up to Heavenly Mother's the lightest purple. So it's kind of this beautiful piece there. Yeah.
It's stunning. And yeah, I love how different it is from other things that Brittany's done. Brittany, well done. This is beautiful. Again, it just shows that sometimes we need to have an opportunity to really stretch ourselves creatively. And I love that that woman connected with her. A
Yeah.
couple other things that I love is I love, like you said, the lightest purple is on Heavenly Mother, but also around her goodness and her light, her aura is just like
Yeah. It's glowing.
permeating out from her, and that's really beautiful too. And you can tell that love and light is definitely permeating into all those women in her sphere, and it's really really stunning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful piece.
And then the next one is Elizabeth Crow's Nested Bowls. And this is actually different from what she does too. She does these like lacy, napkin-y looking sculptures out of very delicate porcelain. And I just loved this piece. I thought it was so beautiful. And it's called Roundabout to Bear You Up. And just about how the love that we show each other is, representative of that support that we get from our mothers. And that, how we reflect that as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I showed you Ginger's before. We're going to have this be our cover. And then Jenna Conlon's piece was really beautiful about, it's called In Her Midst, and sort of referencing, I think, creation of Eve in her image. So
beautiful.
I love and then I already talked about Carolyn's. Let's see. The next one is Lori Lisenby was actually my professor at BYU. And so it was really fun to meet up with her. And this piece is called She. And the hand of the dove. And the dove is a symbol of Heavenly Mother. And her statement is so powerful. She talks about how, truths were taken from the scriptures, and how truth about Heavenly Mother has been obscured throughout history. And it's very powerful. So that's one of my favorites.
Yeah. And that piece is also really neat too, because it looks like it's a 2D piece, but it's definitely 3D.
This hand is popping out.
It's popping out. And then, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's a good one. So, and then there's the Megan Geilman is our collaborative piece person, and she did this piece. It's called Dinner for One, referencing the oneness between Heavenly Father and Heavenly Mother, and how we are to be one with them. And coming to the dinner table is, just everyone made a piece or contributed as they could to this beautiful collaboration. This is our collaborative piece. And Megan Guyland, she takes like over a year to create her pieces. And so we really wanted to have her involved in the show somehow. And so she, this was her idea for the collaborative piece.
It's amazing. And
There's
it's one of
so
those,
many.
Yeah, the details of everything in there. And it is something that you really need to go be in person. I have noticed that there were quite a few videos that people took during
Oh
the
yeah.
opening. And I think that if you can't be there, if you can just go on Instagram and watch some of the videos that people have shared of the space, you can get a
Yeah.
really good idea of this particular piece.
Yeah, the details are just delicious. There's apples and there's, the things that people brought. This is the seed of life again. And
Yeah.
anyway, there's wonderful details in this that are really cool. This one I just loved, Megan Trueblood, and I just love how she made a still life about Heavenly Mother.
Mhm,
And it's
totally.
sort of, because she's just really good at the still lifes. And this one is, let me see what it's called again.
Oh,
It's
gifts from
called
her.
Gifts from Her. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's just the gifts that we receive from her and how they're reflecting in our lives.
Uh-huh.
And I just love that, the eggs and I don't know, that I just thought that was really beautiful and very
Yeah.
symbolic.
And
And
just for those of you that can't see, so Megan, she does a beautiful job with still lifes, and she's also really great with colors and simplicity of colors. But she takes really intricate
Mhm.
things and then she simplifies them, and whether it's in color and shape, and it's just really, really stunning. There's just so many symbols within the piece. It's beautiful, very monochromatic, like beiges, whites, golds,
Yeah.
creams. That's so it's really, good purity and all the wonderful things that you can think of with mother. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. Well
Yeah.
done. Well done, Megan.
And then this is Melissa I'm going to butcher this. Um, Tashikamba. And this one's called My Sister's Keeper. And this was in our reflections room and is sort of about how we as sisters reflect Heavenly Mother's qualities.
Mhm.
But she's a fairly I feel like she's newer to the scene, but she may not be. Because I hadn't seen her work before this show.
Uh-huh.
And it was really cool. She actually had made this. She was kind of a later comer
Uh-huh.
because we hadn't heard of her, and she had been making this piece this last year, and then presented it to us.
Oh,
A
wow.
few months before the show was opening, and we were like, well, maybe we could make an exception, and
Yeah, it's
she
incredible.
is African American and she is beautiful herself. And I think J. Kirk Richards is working on they're doing a daily painting thing
Yeah.
together,
And
which is, I
and
think,
they've done it for gosh, since I've been aware, it's been a few years. But yeah, I
oh, that's
think
awesome.
yeah, her stuff's
Yeah.
amazing. And I
Yeah.
think I love her usage of mediums. She has a whole new she's got a different take than what we typically see.
Yeah.
Just yeah, she does a beautiful job of that.
Like all of this is like 3D plaster. There's a lot of relief in it and it's cool.
Yeah, it's definitely a piece that's incredible to see online, but this one you really do need to see it in person. It's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the last one is Shari Lyons' piece. And there's just this thing is packed with symbolism. And you have the tree, and then you have sort of the four seasons, and then you have, and you read her statement, and it doesn't even say everything, but it's called Dear Mother. And it's basically a letter to um her mother that's really small, and it's to Heavenly Mother that's like saying basically, is it true that I'm to be submissive, or is this
Yeah.
really this representation of women through through the view of historical men?
Uh-huh.
Is this true? And then it's Heavenly Mother just revealing her potential as a woman and saying, you are strong, be strong, you are beautiful, be beautiful, and it's a very powerful message that she shares
Absolutely. And
there.
just as a little more description for those of you that can't see it. So I would say it's a special framed piece because it's 5 different pieces coming together within one frame. And it has, would you say like a pedestal? No, what do you call when
Oh, what is that called? It's like the
okay, so
classical,
yeah, classical. Oh, this is
like a
horrible. But
pantheon.
anyways, imagine and so it's an architectural frame. It has the peak at the top. I can't remember what it's called, but anyways, and then so it almost has this this feeling of home, and also just, you know, all the pieces that make up, I don't know. It's just amazing. And then she does encaustic. If you're not familiar with Shari's work, she does encaustic. And so it's just beautiful. It's a bunch of, like she said, all these things that she's learning, but also these treasures of
You know, there's
who
a
she is.
beehive and an owl, and then, you know,
Yeah,
bees,
it's
and, you know,
amazing.
like it's so cool. Butterflies, and yeah, the tree and intertwining, and yeah, it's incredible.
It's a great piece. There's a lot of geometry, a lot of movement, a lot of nature.
And
It's a
she was
great
saying she did a lot of research on Heavenly Mother,
Oh, nice.
and
Yeah.
and just wanting to incorporate it all in, and that after she'd done all this research, the vision for this piece just came together, which was really
That's
cool.
so cool. I love
Yeah.
it. Oh, well,
So,
thank you.
yeah.
Thank you for sharing all of those pieces. What a treat.
Oh, there's so many good ones. And I tried to focus on ones that hadn't received awards. I did do like 2 that already had, but the show was incredible and I loved everything. I mean, you can't have a favorite child, you know, like
I
all of the
know,
pieces are
right?
amazing. And
It's true. And what are we saying? There's 140? Are
yeah,
there
there's
140?
140. They're incredible.
Yeah. So this is just a little peek for you. But definitely go and enjoy these pieces. They're just incredible. Okay, so just getting back to you personally, my last question for you, Nicole, is I'd love to hear if you had any aha moments these past like 19 months, whatever long that we've been dealing with the whole COVID thing. You talked a little bit about COVID, but did you make any changes personally with your art practice because of COVID? Or did you see your work or the art community in the world differently because of COVID?
Yeah, it definitely changed because my children were home.
Yes.
I had to homeschool them and they're young. Like my oldest is 9 and my youngest is 8 months. And, you know, during COVID, she wasn't born yet, but
Yeah.
I was pregnant. And so, you know, that's a whole other blessing, you know, that came into our lives. That was very hard. You know, I get really sick when I'm pregnant and I'm basically debilitated, you know, and we were just trying to keep me out of the hospital at that point. And yeah, so lots of blessings happened during that time. And it was still, it's hard, you know, to have that isolation. And I think that isolation is good for art and bad for art sometimes, you know. I think you need to, in times of isolation, you almost need to reach out to community, and it's not as natural. And I think that that's harder, you know, for people that don't naturally even gravitate towards it, that still need it. We all need community. But yeah, I think it was harder because my children were home, so I got less done. And there was something else I noticed. That people were relying more online than for community than in their local spaces, because they could get contaminated by people in their local spaces, you know. And so I feel now that there's even more of a reaching towards your local community. That's sort of like a healing from the trauma of being so afraid of people and being around them. I love that. It makes community even more important. And
totally, we have the desire to embrace it more and just to be grateful for those connections that we have. And you're right, it's hard as artists because there are moments that we need to be isolated so we can get our work done. But if we don't have that connection, sometimes, I mean, this show is a perfect example. When you don't have these types of opportunities, then you don't reach and stretch as an artist. And we saw that so much. We saw that so much during this show. There's so many. Anyways, thank you for sharing that. And
well, and I also noticed that artists, like that people in general, when they're suffering, they turn to the arts. To help them heal, to help them feel better. And so in a way, I feel like there's been more of an awareness
Totally.
of the arts, of music, of movies, of, just entertainment, but also fine art, in reaching and wanting a soul reaching to heal. Yeah. And I think art can do
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah. And I think that, like you said, the art is a remedy, and this show in a lot of ways has been a remedy, and it couldn't have come at a better time with a better topic. I mean,
I know. It's
so
like,
many
what are we going to
things.
do next?
Oh, I know.
This is,
I'm
you
sure,
know,
I'm sure that our heavenly parents will tell you exactly what needs to happen next, but I'm
yeah,
so grateful for
yeah.
you and Laura and Mary, and for your willingness to basically put aside so much of your busy lives and the hard things that have been happening to make this a priority, and to provide this for not just the artist community, but for our community at large, just to be able to heal and to grow, and to, just to find new fulfillment, new ways to think about our Heavenly Mother. It's been really special to watch it all unfold.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, one of the goals of the show is to help women know that they are self-determining individuals that can claim their own power, that there's
yes,
nothing's holding them back. There really shouldn't be, and if there is, don't let it, you don't have
absolutely.
to let it. And,
I love that.
you know, yeah. So that's where, yeah, we love the idea of giving women that confidence and inspiring them to know that they are their divine potential.
Oh, that's so great. Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
for doing
Thank
this.
you,
Thank you.
Katrina.
Thank you for the series, this show series that you've been doing. Thank you for this specific topic. Yeah, just we appreciate you so much. And
Thank you.
is there anything else that you want to share with our listeners and our viewers? Anything coming up for you, or anything that else that we may have missed?
No, I think we covered it. I'm going to take a
Awesome.
little bit of a break.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
You
you need
know,
to.
for
You
a
need
few
to.
months at least, and then we'll get back into some things. But you're always such an inspiration, Katrina, and such an honor to be on your podcast. And
Ah, ditto.
thank you
I,
for
I love
having
I
me.
love this time. This has been such a great tradition to be able to interview you ladies.
Yeah, I love it.
Um, yeah, so thank you. And just so that everybody knows, I will share Nicole's website, her Instagram, all of her places in the show notes, so that you can go check out some more Nicole goodness. And yeah, thank you again, Nicole. So much
Thank
love from
you.
our Heavenly Mother, from our Heavenly Father, from all of us artists. We just want you to know how much we love and appreciate you. So thank
Well,
you
thanks.
again.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yes. And to all of you listening and watching today, from Nicole and I, we just want to send a lot of love to each of you. We know that you're facing hard things, and we know that our Heavenly Parents love you, and our Savior, He loves you too. So we just want to send a lot of love from all of us to all of you. So much love.
Yeah. Thanks for being here.
Yeah. All right. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you.